had a circular seal, but this obviously didn't have one on because it was in the Bongo's, what was it called? The Ultimate Bongo Bundle box. Try saying that 3 times fast when you've had a drink.
Retro unboxing.
Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jonathan, thanks for watching. Today I'd planned on doing something completely different to what I'm actually going to unbox. I had planned on showing you this because I've recently got back into the Dreamcast, seen one of these and bought this, so this you'll have to wait and see. Today I've just received this package, which is why this has taken preference over that. And basically, this is, well, as you've seen from the title, a Gamecube. Now, I've not seen a Gamecube for it's pushing 20 years. I mean, they came out in 2000, 2001, and I had one, but to be honest, it came out amidst the Xbox OG and the PS2. And although we had a few favourite games for it, it always sort of sat there and went by the wayside. And I think that's because, well, the PS2 was just so prolific. I mean, I think this actually sold something like 21 million compared to the 100 odd million of the PS2. It's actually sold less than the N64. But the reason I wanted to do this video, and the reason I was keen to do this video, is that in my last videos I've been kind of hating on the N64, which made it look like I, hated Nintendo. I thought with the N64 that Nintendo had just lost their way a little bit. They were chasing 3D and the graphics just weren't good enough. Well, what they, in my opinion, should have done is just continue doing what they were doing beforehand and kept the charm that was always there in Nintendo games. And I think that's what they did with this. They did get the charm back, and although this console did have some of the same AAA titles that the PS2 and an Xbox had, this had its own AAA kind of Nintendo games, which, again, for my money, Mario Kart won the charm back. The Mario game, Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion and things like that, they all just exuded that Nintendo charm. So I've been looking out for a Gamecube for a while, and the reason I bought this one, and I bought it on eBay, I won it on auction on Sunday night. It's Tuesday today, so it's literally just arrived. And the reason I wanted this one is because allegedly it's never been out of the box. The seller tells me that literally he'd just opened the flaps of the box, taken the photos, and that was that. So in theory it should be pretty sweet. But anyway, I've been waffling on, so I'm going to whip it out of this box now and we'll have a closer look at it. I don't have my big kitchen knife, so it's basic scissors first. Excellent. Well, it's packaged it pretty well. Got some bubble bag wrap stuff. Some bubble wrap around the main box. Hold that there. Wang that out of the way. And then we'll... There we go. So, the ultimate bongo bundle. I mean, I'm not sure how many other bongo bundles were around that were not quite so ultimate, and to be honest, I'm not particularly bothered about the game. Although I'm interested, I'll probably have a quick play on it. But this is the outer box. You can see it's in pretty good condition. There's a few little bits of kind of damage on some of the corners and whatnot. The seals are still there, but not sealed. My understanding is that he's literally had this box just sat in his bedroom or in a loft or whatever, it's not what I would have done. If I was selling this, I wouldn't have opened the seals and opened the box just to make sure it was there. I would have just sold it as sealed. But anyway, that's the front of the box. You've just been looking at the back of the box. There's just all the usual claptrap on there. I'm just interested in getting to the Gamecube, to be honest. I'm not too worried about the game or the bongos. So let's whip this out of here. Right, what I like the look of straight away is that there's actually even extra cardboard protection on either side of the console. So that's very promising for the console being free of any kind of damage or marks or anything. I'll get the bongos out. Just put that to one side for a second. So the box does look pretty sweet. I understand there's no real reason why these would have been sealed in terms of a seal label on the internal boxes, and it doesn't look like there ever was a seal. There's no sign of any kind of residue or anything at all. So I will just pop these out just for the sake of having a look. So we get I don't know what. Oh right, okay. So this is something to do with the NintendoVIP.com. Anyway, as you can see, all the packaging's here. You would very much believe that this has never been out of the box, without a doubt. I'm confused as to why the game wouldn't be in here though. Surely that's where the game would have sat. Surely. I can't see it being in the console box. Anyway. So I'm going to pop. Yeah. So no game then. So I might not be playing on Donkey Kong. So it's definitely had it out, or at some point over the years it's definitely been out. Someone's, I don't know, maybe whipped the game out and run off with it, whatever. But like I say, I'm not too bothered about this. This was just frankly a cheap way of me getting hold of a brand new a brand new Gamecube as cheap as possible. So yeah, there you can just see that's what the Gamecube was in there. So the box has been preserved perfectly, and it really has. Look at that. That is immaculate. I just noticed. Nope. Just a little bit of one of the bags popping out there. There's not a mark on it. Absolutely fantastic. So Nintendo sometimes sealed consoles, sometimes didn't. I know that if you went and bought a Gamecube off of the shelf, it would have had a circular seal, but this obviously didn't have one on because it was in the Bongos. What was it called? The Ultimate Bongo Bundle box. Try saying that 3 times fast when you've had a drink. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So you can see on the back it's just got all the usual nice artwork, and look at that. I mean, what a lineup of games. This is, you know, this should have been Nintendo's biggest console really, but it really wasn't. And that was, I liked this as well. I liked the fact that you could plug the Game Boy Advance into it. I liked that Nintendo had very much embraced the the two joystick, the two analog joystick approach with this console, with this controller. So yeah, right. Let's start getting this out of the box. We'll see if it's this side first. Yep, it is. I don't want to bend that back too far. You can see already, even just now, opening that up, I've bent the box back a little bit too far, and it starts to compromise the card a little bit. So you can see that it's pretty new. So we've got a SCART adapter, which I will probably not need. And then we've got the power brick. I was half expecting the game to be in here. It looks like Nintendo actually listened to my criticisms of the N64. There's a lot less paperwork in here. Lovely. Oh, I don't want to get it out. The biggest problem with these consoles of the day was that once you'd got these things out of the box, it was very, very difficult to get them back in sometimes. So that's the component cable. That's the only cable I should need, in theory, to connect it to my TV. And then we slide that out of there. And we have the controller. Now, I will get this out, because I'm going to need it. Wow. Wow, wow. That is... it's brand new. And you know, it feels absolutely lovely in the hand. It's a little bit small, but it's just got that really kind of Xbox sort of 360 feel about it. So when this came out, this was competing with the PlayStation 2 DualShock and the Xbox original controller. And this was far better than the original Xbox controller, which was massive. Obviously Xbox, I think Microsoft perfected the Xbox controller with the original S, and then they've evolved it and continued to perfect it right up until today. But this feels like a very similar sort of form factor to the kind of Xbox 360, an Xbox OG S variant of controller. It's really nice. And lastly, the Cube. And it's quite obvious that if this has been out of the box, that it's either never been used or it's maybe similar to the N64 in that I don't know, it may have been used once and then put back. There's not a mark anywhere. There's no evidence that it's been touched. I think I mentioned with the N64 that often what you'll see with consoles is that when you've put the power connector in a couple of times and taken it out and you've moved it around and whatnot. Obviously this is not the power connector, but you know what I mean. When you've plugged things in and unplugged things, that you kind of start to just foul around the port edges, and there is no sign that this has had any of that at all. now I've got fingerprint smears on it. I don't know. I think maybe it's maybe been out of the box. There's a couple of slight signs of someone having touched it once, but frankly, that's beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Sorry about my knobhead neighbour who is sat revving his bike on the front drive. Right, sorry about that. I actually live in ordinarily a nice quiet area, but we've come into spring, and the old guy across the road who literally only rides his motorbike once or twice a year in the summer, he's obviously seen that the weather's getting a bit nicer. And then monthly he just brings it out of the garage onto the drive, starts it up and sits revving it for about 20 minutes. So anyway, back to the Nintendo. I really think that Nintendo got it all right with this console. It was comparable with the PS2 and kind of Xbox in terms of a lot of the games that were being released on it, the big titles. And then frankly, Nintendo always had their own better first party Mario games, Pikmin, Donkey Kong, whatever. So in a lot of ways, it was kind of better than those consoles. I think that the biggest reason that it failed was because the PS2 just had that much of a head start on it. So yeah, I'm really pleased to have picked this up. Just have a look around the console. There are a few tiny little marks which I don't think the camera's going to quite pick up. It's kind of just, there's a few little marks up here that does just suggest that it might have been used, but if someone has used it and then repackaged it, they've done a bloody good job. But it was always a very simple console. You've got the power button there for on, obviously, the reset button, and then the eject button, and that's where you put your little disc. Gamecube games came on tiny little CDs, like so, and even these were just cute and charming, in my view. Look at that one's pretty bloody scratched, isn't it? I have actually got another copy of Mario Kart Double Dash, and that one's not scratched at all. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Yeah, just cute little discs. I don't honestly know how much data these held. I'm sure someone will know. I'm sure that can tell me. I'm sure the internet could tell me, but I'm not too concerned about that at this point. So there was a couple of other things that you could do with the GameCube. You could actually connect it to the internet with an adapter. There was a Game Boy adapter that you clipped to the bottom of the GameCube that was yay big, and you could play Game Boy games straight through your GameCube. And yeah, so there's kind of three ports on the bottom there. My suspicion is they had far more plans as to what they could do with those, and just never really kind of explored them properly. But they did exactly the same with the Nintendo 64, didn't they? I've also just noticed the product code for this is DOL001, and I suspect that that's because this was codenamed Project Dolphin. So yeah, DOL001. So I'm guessing again. I don't think this is a big leap, but I'm guessing that this is a first issue, a first edition, if you will, or first revision. So yes, I'm really pleased with it actually. The problem is again with many of these consoles, and because they've been around such a long time, and because most of them have been used and abused, it's very difficult to find one that's either brand new or sealed or whatever for less than about 500 quid. And honestly, I don't really want to be spending 500 quid on on a Gamecube. I paid $180 for this, which is probably about $250, and I don't think that's bad considering the condition and the fact that it is either brand new and never been used, or it's been out, you know, once and then very, very carefully repackaged. There's no sign of dust or anything in the fan that I can tell. I will film a few close-ups and add those into the video as well. This is exactly what I hoped for. Right, so that's kind of about it for the video, to be honest. I'm going to plug it in and I'm going to boot up Mario Kart, and I'm going to have a quick blast, and I'm just going to show you those up and running over the last kind of couple of minutes of the video. But that's kind of it from me. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. See you soon.
Retro Unboxing.